CU Sports Desk.
Welcome to Sideline Spotlight. I'm Big Will Levinson. Man, what an absolutely awesome, what an absolutely colossal night of football in our area. It's round one of the playoffs in Georgia. It's round two of the playoffs in Tennessee. And as we get closer to state championships, we had plenty of championship contenders in action tonight. That includes Marion County, who are looking for back-to-back 2A state titles. They welcomed South Green out of Greenville to Tennessee, Jasper, Tennessee, and the MC Warriors. They meant business in this one. Heck of a fake. Where's it going? It's going the Martin way. Ashton Martin faked everybody, then rumbles his way in for 6. And Coach Starkey and his staff are zeroed in on making it back to Finley Stadium for the 2A title game as the Marion County Warriors were running wild on the South Green Rebels, controlling the clock and shutting it down on defense. Well, I tell you, the Warriors defense, it is scary. Oh, Marion County, they're in the quarterfinal, 35-0 is the final in Jasper. South Pittsburgh has looked like an absolute juggernaut all season. They hosted Oliver Springs in round 2 tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, good things happen when you put the football in the hands of number 2. Another week, another big-time play for Dayon Cooper. All he does is run away from the defense of the Pirates. Yeah, they weren't messing around. They were giving Oliver Springs a heavy dose of their 2 Mr. Football Award semifinalists. Cooper got us started. Now Jamichael Buckner keeps it going. Cooper, Buckner, Pirates, they do as they please all night long. Domination once again for the guys that dominate more than anyone. South Pitt cruises 49-0. More scores from Tennessee. Meigs County domination. Big game there. They get a big win over Sequatchie County, 49-19. Boy, Meigs County, they have been awesome this year, as has Sale Creek. How about it? Last week they get their first ever playoff win. This week they get their second ever playoff win. 22-14 is the final there. And Tyner, they are a state championship contender in 3A. 56-28. Boyd Buchanan, talk about state championship contenders. The Bucks, they are that. 35-0 over Grace Christian. Grundy County, they fought, but they fall 17-6 as Silverdale has their season end 49-19. Let's head to North Georgia where the opening round of the playoffs kicked off tonight. Northwest Whitfield welcomed Oconee County to Tunnel Hill for round 1. The Bruins and that high-powered offense hoping tonight would mark the start of a deep postseason run, but they would have to get past the OC Warriors first. Man, those uniforms, they are sweet for the Bruins. And Gavin Knuckles, yeah, he's been doing stuff like this all year long, avoiding the sack across his body, no problem. Right on target. Cade Mitchell for 6. Oconee County would answer. Long drive capped off by Darius Darden. 1-yard score. We're knotted up, but Darius Darden was not done. Bouncing off Bruins. Darius Darden, great name, better score in this game, would be back and forth and wild. But in the end, it's the Warriors who find a way to win it. A heartbreaking end to a great season for Northwest Whitfield. 39-37. Now to Fort Oglethorpe, where LFO hosted Laney, and the LFO Warriors offense was cooking early. Darren Keefe hits a wide-open Jamie Hinton, and he's in no rush to get home. Jogging his way in, all the defender can do is watch. LFO leads at 21-16, but the Laney Wildcats are battle-tested. Everything the Warriors threw at them, they had the answer. Gerald Brown III finds a lane. He's in. Laney retakes the lead, and it really felt like whoever could get a stop in the second half would take it over. And how about this for a momentum swing? Tipped and picked. Great coordination. Reggie Makerson to reel it in. Laney retakes possession, and Laney cashes in. Once again, GB3, Gerald Brown III for the score. Great fight by LFO, but Laney pulls away 48-29. And also in Georgia tonight, Gordon Lee domination 41-10 as Calhoun takes down Lumpkin County 35-13. North Murray gets a playoff victory 22-14. Heritage, they fall 35-28. Pierce County takes down Ringgold to end their season 31-7 as Dalton has their season end 70-7. Back to Tennessee now. Let's head to the Lions' Den, where Red Bank is hosting Gibbs out of Court in Tennessee. The Lions are feeling good, up 13-0 at the half, but the Gibbs Eagles entered half 2 with some anger. Screen pass to Chase Norman. He's wrapped up for a short gain. No! Norman breaks free with one shoe. Norman going as fast as he can all the way home. What looked like just a 2-yard gain ends in a 40-yard touchdown. But how would Red Bank respond to that opening drive score in the second half? Well, they put the ball in the hands of Jacoby Sally. Stick around. We'll hear his story later in the show. But now check out what he can do on the field. Sally scampers for a first down, and Sally scampers for a touchdown. How about the Red Bank Lions? Ladies and gentlemen, after a 1-4 start to the season, they have won 7 games in a row. None bigger than this one. Domination over a very good Gibbs team, 34-7. Red Bank is on to the 4A quarterfinals. Still ahead, we head to Baylor as the Red Raiders play their first playoff game, and Bledsoe County looks to punch their ticket to the quarterfinal. Sideline Spotlight continues next.
Sideline Spotlight is sponsored by Chattanooga Closet Company. This is the TVFCU Sports Desk.
Welcome back to Sideline Spotlight. Baylor has looked like one of the best teams in all of America this year. The Red Raiders are unbeaten, loaded with D1 talent, and they look poised to make a run of the state title. First up for Baylor, a team they just beat to close out the regular season, Knox Catholic, and unlike that game, the Red Raiders got started a little slow in this one, scoreless after the first quarter, but then they woke up, and oh yeah, they have the best running back in the nation. I mean, all you can do is just sit back and enjoy this. David Gabriel George is a Power 5 running back playing high school football, folks, and when you run the ball, things open up on the outside, and yeah, things opened up on the outside here for Jamie and Theodore. This was a one-play drive to give Baylor our first points of the game, and it's on to the next drive for Theodore. And on the next drive, more success for Baylor. Briggs Cherry on the money. Braxton Rain, and there's nothing but green grass ahead. Baylor stopped messing around after the first quarter. They are on to the semis. Domination of Knox Catholic, 35-7. McCallie on the road, taking on Briarcrest and Big Blue. They too start a little slow, scoreless near halftime when Elliot Drapeau floats it perfectly into the leaping Levi Scott for the first points of this one. McCallie leads it 7-0. Now just seconds left in the half. McCallie going forward on 4th and 3, and the gamble pays off. Xavier Fillion plows his way home for 6. Big Blue with some huge momentum before half. They lead now by 2 scores, and McCallie just kept it rolling from there. Love this play call. Take the QB draw. Louis Fortier flips it out to Loya Valade. Blocker in front. He's in. Hard to believe Big Blue didn't score until late in the half. It was an onslaught from there. McCallie domination over Briarcrest, 41-14. And so that sets the stage for next week, ladies and gentlemen. Baylor and McCallie will face off in the semifinals 1 week from today. This is the 3rd year in a row. These two rivals will face off in the postseason. McCallie beat Baylor in the last 2 state title games. Baylor knocked McCallie off earlier in the season, an absolutely epic game that came down to the wire. We'll have more lead up to this one next week on News Channel 9. We cannot wait. Blue vs. Red, Part 2. Oakland, they take down Bradley Central 35-10 as Sevier County dominates Walker Valley 42-7 as McMinn Central falls 41-6. And Trine, they lose 24-21. Bledsoe County is on the road, open upset, unbeaten Happy Valley, and the Warriors trail 14-6 here in the second half when Marcos Ramirez bullies his way in. 2-point try good. Bledsoe has tied this game. Now the Warriors are threatening again. End around to Dallas Bridges, and he takes the bridge in for 6. Bledsoe leads it 21-14, but Happy Valley scored. They're going for 2 for the win, and they are denied. Bledsoe County makes the stand, and Bledsoe County pulls off the upset. They win a thriller, 21-20. He came there for the Warriors. And Red Bank's running back is shown to be impressive on the field, but it's what he's doing off the field that is becoming an inspiration for his teammates and coaches. That story is next.
This is the TVFCU Sports Desk.
Welcome back to Sideline Spotlight. It has been a special season for the Red Bank Lions. They are region champs, and now they're on their way to the quarterfinals and the playoffs. One of their star players is leading the team both on and off the field, and he's becoming an inspiration for his teammates and coaches. Ja'Kai Spikes has the story.
I've always been taught, regardless of anything, always see the positive outcome.
Red Bank fans know him as number 24 on the field.
God is working, and, there's always going to be light at the end of the tunnel.
But he's number one in many people's hearts.
Jacoby is such a positive young man. He never gets down. It doesn't matter what the result of a play is or what the result of a situation is. He's always the first to kind of step up and just shake it off and move forward.
Now, this mindset started in the 8th grade when Jacoby's grandmother passed away from cancer.
She passed away in her bedroom, which was next door to mine, and she died to a cancer that I wasn't told of or aware of. So it kind of hit me in a soft spot, and I wasn't really right for the next couple of years.
But he knew his grandmother wouldn't want to see him down.
She always said that hard work is going to get you places, slacking will never get you anywhere.
And that advice stuck with him going into high school. After class, Jacoby would go to practice and then go to work at McDonald's until 10:30 at night.
And when somebody told us about it, I went and asked him, I said, "You walking home after work?" "Yeah." "Why?" "Got to get home." I was like, "Yeah, you're right," and so it wasn't a big thing, and so it was like we weren't surprised a bit.
And with other family members having to work and the natural transportation hurdles that came with that,
money's a real key factor, and I'm okay with getting my hands dirty and stuff like that, so I do what I need to do, help provide for my family.
It's like, well, man, hey, you need to let us know if you need a ride. I'm good, And knowing him, I wouldn't be surprised if he ran home just to get some more work in.
The key word in this story is hard work. And Coach Gatewood said that Jacoby never made excuses. He would always show up, be present, and give 100%. We asked Jacoby where that work ethic came from.
My parents and my coaches, Coach Gatewood has always told me, you want to be a leader, especially senior year, you really want to be a leader, lead the team.
At Red Bank High School, I'm Jakai Spikes, News Channel 9.
Thank you, Jakai. You can watch this story again and other Sideline Spotlight feature stories on newschannel9.com. Still ahead, it will be a high-stakes game in Athens tomorrow. The Dogs take on Texas, why Coach Kirby Smart is letting last season's success not impact their preparation.
This is the TVFCU Sports Desk.
Welcome back to Sideline Spotlight. Boy, it'll be another big day of college football tomorrow, and we have two marquee matchups in the SEC. 5th-ranked Georgia takes on 10th-ranked Texas in Athens. It's a rematch of last year's SEC championship game. Georgia won an overtime thriller to take the conference title last season. Gunnar Stockton came off the bench in the second half. Georgia actually beat Texas twice last year, beating them in Austin earlier in the season. However, Coach Kirby Smart says last year's result had no impact on their preparation for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, this team didn't beat Texas. That team, and this Texas hasn't played this team of ours. So two completely different teams, in my opinion. So I think it has zero effect on it.
The Dogs have been in a lot of close games this season, but they finally made a statement 1 week ago, blowing out Mississippi State. So they come into this one feeling good. Texas and Georgia kicks off at 7:30 right here on News Channel 9. Alabama takes on Oklahoma in Tuscaloosa tomorrow night. The Sooners are listed as one of the first teams out of the playoff right now, so they will have something to prove. But Alabama has extra motivation for this one. For the Crimson Tide, this is a chance to get revenge. The Sooners upset Alabama last season, pretty much knocking them out of the playoff picture, but Alabama is much better this year. They've won 8 in a row and just dominated rival LSU 20-9. Coach Kalen DeBoer says he's more focused on the team's growth than the past, but they don't forget last year.
That's the focus is, again, how did we get to this point this year to where we've had the success? What's it going to take to be our best on Saturday? And so, again, you try to hone in on that, but you can't help but remember, the past. And those questions that you asked just now were also asked, a few weeks ago when we played Vanderbilt and so forth. And so, our guys, should remember that because our experiences help us be better the next time around.
Alabama, Oklahoma. Kickoff is set for 3:30 right here on News Channel 9. That is a wrap on another jam-packed edition of Sideline Spotlight. Boy, I had so much fun tonight. Playoffs, Tennessee and Georgia. A big thanks to our outstanding crew who make all of this happen, and a big thanks to you for being here with us. Baylor McCallie next week. You won't want to miss it. Have a wonderful weekend.